Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah, Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah.
For today's hadith, let me put it up here so everyone can see. Inshallah. This is hadith number 7 from the book 40 Hadith for Islamic Schools, part 2. This is the 7th hadith. And this hadith has to deal with borrowing from others, borrowing money from others. And let's go over the hadith. The hadith is narrated by Abu Hurairah. He said that the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, whoever takes the money or borrows money from a person with the intention of repaying it, Allah will help you to pay it back. But whoever borrows money with the intention of wasting it, in other words, you're borrowing the money, but you don't need it, then Allah will destroy you. Okay, so this is a hadith that we really need to ponder the meaning of, because what Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us is simple. Although we cannot beg in Islam, we already talked about how begging is haram. Although it's haram to beg for people to give you things, it's okay to ask people, can they help you, to borrow from people. Islam teaches us to respect other people's property. And when we do find ourselves in a predicament, whereas we have to borrow from others, we should be honest about it and try to pay the money back as soon as possible. And if we don't do that, then if we don't have the intention of paying it back, then we shouldn't ask for it, because this is a terrible sin. You don't want to ask people to help you to do things, just for the fun of it. You should only ask for help when you really need it. And there is nothing wrong with asking people to help you as long as you have the intention of paying them back. So let's see. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's see how well you guys understood this wonderful hadith. Since Islam allows us to borrow, and again, the only time that we'll ask people to give us a loan is if we are desperately in need for help. What are some good reasons to ask people to loan us money? Who can think? What are some good reasons to borrow money? I mean, if it's got to be a situation which you really need help with, Go ahead, Sister Zora. Sister Zora, what's a good reason to borrow?
If you need money to buy something really, really, really important.
Like what? What's something important to buy?
Like a new computer so you could do work.
Okay, that's a good idea. You might need you need a computer in order to go to school. We use our computers, for school to do our schoolwork. So if your computer breaks and you need a new computer, it's a good thing to borrow, for that. What's another reason to borrow? A good excuse to borrow, Sister Sabrina?
Like if you're in need for food and you don't and there's this one price of food that you don't have the amount of, so you need money from somebody so you can get that money for the food.
Great, that's a good excuse. We have to eat. We have to be able to feed our families. And if we don't have enough money, to buy food for our families, and that's a good excuse to borrow from others. Go ahead, Brother Ali. What's a good reason to borrow, Brother Ali?
There's a good reason to good reason to
Yeah, to borrow is what? What's a good reason?
there's a good reason to borrow stop of there's a good reason to borrow phone.
Phone. What you need a phone for?
You need a phone to go on class.
Oh, you need a phone, so you don't have a phone, you're gonna ask somebody to loan you some money so you can buy a phone?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool, as long as you have the intentions on paying them back. Long as you know you have to pay them back. Phones cost a lot of money. That's okay, though. We do need a phone, don't we? You need a phone so you can call your mom in case something happens. A phone is a necessity. That's a very good reason. That's a good answer, Ali. Alhamdulillah. Sister Rahima, what's a good reason, to borrow, to ask somebody to loan you some money? And by the way, guys, everyone may do it for Sister Rahima. She's in a hospital. But mashallah, even though she's in a hospital, she's participating in her Sunnahfollowers kids class. What's a good excuse to borrow some money, Rahima?
For medicine?
For medicine. Oh, yeah, that's a real good excuse. Maybe, the doctor bills are kind of high. You got to have medicine for your treatment. You might have to ask somebody, can they loan you some money to help you pay the bill? Because if you're without your medicine, what's going to happen? You're going to get sick. So that's a really, really, really a good excuse, to ask for a loan. Excuse me, Sister Layla. We talking about people being sick. Now I see that Sister Rahima. She lay there in the hospital bed, Sister Layla. I heard she got multiple sclerosis or something like that. One of those sicknesses that ain't got no cure. So, we need to make dua for her. I remember 2 weeks ago, Sister Layla, we went over the hadith where the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, whenever you visit the sick, whenever you make dua for the sick, you get good blessings. So I just want to tell everybody here, everybody needs to make dua for Sister Rahima. She's got sickle cell. It's one of them. I think it's sickle cell anemia. It's still around. I thought they had a cure for it, but that's okay. She'll be all right. But we got to pray for her, Sister Layla. And by the way, I don't like that cow. Who he think he is with all that mew stuff? I'm a cat. How would you like it if I say meow every time I talk? You need to talk to that cow. If he can't control his moves, then he don't need to be around here. I just wanted to say that. Thank you for allowing me to share. Well, one thing about the cat, guys, the cat brought out a really good thing. We all need to make dua for Sister Rahima, asking Allah to help her with her illness, to bring her back home to us safely, because this is a lot of rewards in doing that. Ameen. Now, Sister Hafsa, what's another good reason, to borrow money? We need it for medicine. Like Rahima said, we might need some money to borrow some money to help us get well. Because the Prophet said, take care of yourself when you're sick. What's another good reason, officer, to borrow?
We can buy hijabs.
Huh?
We can buy hijabs.
Buy hijabs? Hijabs. Oh, now what? That's a good answer. You know, as Muslim women, we're supposed to wear hijabs. And if you can't put a hijab on it, you can ask your neighbor to loan you a couple dollars. You know, Jamila Pasha sells these hijabs for just $12. You can get you a hijab like Layla wears all the time for just $12. If you don't have any money, you know, because, you know, you wait on your check to come through the mail or the postman didn't deliver in the snow, you know, ask the neighbor to loan you $12 and then you pay the neighbor back when you get your check. Good job, Hafsa. Good job. Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, Sister Sania. What's another good excuse to borrow some money?
So borrow some money so you can get a house.
Oh, you mean you can't pay the rent, huh? That happens. Stuff like that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes we get in predicaments and we can't pay the rent. Excuse me. Hey. I'm sorry. I just got to bust up in here. You know, I got to bust a lug up in here. You know, Foxy Loxy here. Let me tell you something, Sister Layla. Don't talk about us because we can't pay our rent. Not everybody got money. So we pay our rent with honey. Hello. You shizzle, you understand? Manizzle. So don't go talking about people not being able to pay their rent, Layla, because some of us can pay our rent with some honey. And I'm talking about I sell honey. You know I do. You know, Mr. Bear brings me a pot of honey once a month. Now, you know, Mr. Bear don't know that foxes don't eat honey. But I ain't gonna tell him. I take that honey and I bottle it up and I sell it. Hello. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. And by the way, y'all didn't ask me to read my prayer. I could have read El Fatiha. Y'all didn't ask me. Miss Layla, what's that about? It's enough for you, Mr. Fox. You can just go on ahead. We don't need to hear from Foxy Loxy. Okay. But yeah, some people are in predicaments where they can't, pay their rent. So if you can't pay the rent, you can borrow some money, go to the mosque, ask them, can you take out a loan, for $100 to pay your rent? And then just make sure you have the intentions, of paying, paying them back. That's a very good reason. Okay. Anyone else? Go ahead. Khadijah, what's a good excuse to take out a loan, to ask people to loan you stuff? Khadijah, go ahead.
A good reason to loan money to someone is like if they're in the hospital and they have a sickness that they can't take care of.
Exactly. And because it's all about helping each other, isn't it? As Muslims, we're supposed to look out for each other, guys. We're supposed to help one another. The Prophet said, whenever you remove a hardship from another Muslim, Allah will remove one from you on the day of judgment. And we're going to need all the help we can get on the day of judgment because we don't want no hardship deeds in our favor. Good job. Brother Muhammad, what's another a good excuse, Brother Muhammad, to borrow money?
To pay for like the bus to get around.
Now, this is really important, guys. Transportation. We have to be able to travel. We have to be able to travel. You need bus fare so you can get back and forth to school. You might need some money to Uber. You might need to catch an Uber to work, or catch an Uber to the grocery store, to catch an Uber to the doctor. You ain't got no money. So you can borrow some. Ask your neighbor, can you loan me $20 or $30 for an Uber? And I'll pay you back when I get my check. Okay, just make sure you pay it back. That's a very good excuse to take out a loan from somebody. Okay, brother Yusef, what do you think? There he is. Yusef's been hiding all day.
Excuse, you need a Chromebook, and if yours broke,
You need a what kind of book?
a Chromebook.
A Chromebook. What's a Chromebook?
A Chromebook.
Oh, a Chromebook. Yo. Oh, yes.
Your mic is on?
Okay, yeah, exactly. If you need a computer or you know, a new notebook or something, you know, then this is a good reason, because you have to have a Chromebook for school. You have to have a Chromebook so you can practice your Quran. So this is great. You know, thank you. He's so smart. That's a good reason to borrow, you know, some money. Who else got a good reason? Isha.
You could borrow money to buy a solar.
You can do what?
You could borrow money to buy a solar.
To buy a solo? To buy a what?
To buy a sala, like masala.
I can't understand her. A masala?
No, she's talking about the thing you pray on.
No, like the carpet. Like you put it
Oh,
on the ground
a
and
carpet? Is that a good, do you have to pray on a carpet? Do we have to pray on a carpet? I don't think I'd want to borrow money to buy a carpet, because, you know, as Muslims, we can pray in the dirt.
Anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. We can pray anywhere on this earth except the pasture of a camel. You don't have to have a praying mat. So
I read a book that's called I Can Pray Anywhere.
Exactly. And that's the truth. We can pray anywhere, guys. You know, so I don't think I'd want to borrow money for a mat to pray on. But, you know, medicine, computers for school, you know, to pay the rent, to buy food to eat. These are really good reasons, because we have to have these things. We don't have to have a praying mat. What do you think, Zora?
I think that you can borrow money to get like a printer so you can print out paperwork and stuff.
Yeah, that might be something good, because you're going to need that for school. So that way you can keep track of all your school things. That might be something good to borrow money for. Sister Amalia, go ahead, Amalia. What's another good reason to borrow money for something, Sister Amalia?
to get a job. So when you
What are you going to borrow money for? The money ain't going to pay for you no job. We don't do bribery. You mean to get a car or something like that for the job? Then that's good. That's good. You know, you want to buy a car. If you can borrow money for a car, that's good. Yeah, Sister Hafsa, you got any other answers, Hafsa? Hafsa?
To buy a bath.
A bath?
A bath where you can sleep.
Oh, look at her. She's so cute. Oh, a bed so she can sleep in. Exactly. Well, sometimes, I mean, we have to have a bed, especially us ladies. You know, if your kids need a bed to sleep in and you don't have the money to buy them one, then I guess you can borrow from someone. Ask someone to loan you a couple $100 so you can buy a bed for your children, and then you'll pay them back. Yes, go ahead, Khadijah.
Like the Quran that you can read.
A Quran? You know, you can get a Quran for free.
Oh, God.
All you got to do is download it off the internet. So I don't think that buying a Quran, borrowing money for a Quran is a good idea because we can read the Quran for free off the internet. Anybody with a different answer? Ali, you guys got a different answer? Go ahead. Go ahead. Kate, turn your mic on.
Something that you have to buy, like food, so you can grow up.
Food
makes
when you grow
Your
up.
stomach, yeah, like food.
Oh, yeah, food. Yeah, when we talked about food, yeah, we got to have food to eat. Yeah, we got to eat. We ain't got no food at home, you know. Papa's a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, but he should have been out working. You know, if you need some food, ain't nothing wrong with that. Papa can go and borrow some money from the mosque to help buy some food. Yeah, go ahead, Ali. You got something else to say? Go ahead.
You can borrow money with and you can buy you can buy a kufi.
A what?
Kufi.
A kufi?
Yes.
Do we have to have a kufi?
No.
Not really. You know, so we don't, again, when we borrow money, it's got to be for something that we really need, like rent, food, you know, a computer for school, clothes for the baby, you know, bus fare, like they said, a bus fare to get back and forth to work and school, Uber. Yeah, Khadijah, you got a different answer? Go ahead, Khadijah.
Close.
Yeah, of course, clothing. You know, we can borrow money for clothes. Rahima, what do you think? She gave one of the best answers, medicine. We always need money for medicine. Medicine costs a lot of money. Y'all know how much it costs for some medicine? Some of that medicine be $500-600. Yeah. Go ahead, Rahima.
Gas to go to school?
Yes, you need gas. It takes gas to get to school. Rahima can tell y'all that. You know, we got to have gas. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Money for school and for Islamic schools.
Yeah, money for school and Islamic school too. And it's unfortunately, Islamic school ain't free. You got to pay money. What you got to say, Yusef? Go ahead.
You need to go places with buses.
Yeah, that's where you need the money for the buses. The buses will take you where you got. You rode a bus lately, Yusef?
Sometimes you need to take the school bus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How do they bully you on the school bus? They don't bother you? If they did, what would you do?
Turn on them.
You do what?
Tell the bus driver.
You tell the bus driver if they bothered you? Let me tell you something, dude. You know, let me talk about I got to just jump on in there on this to the lady. I'm sorry, I got to jump in on this. Let me tell you something. If somebody come up to you, they can bully you all they want to. They want to call your names.
Russell, are you peeing your bottle?
And all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, you need to pee your bottle.
But let me tell you something. Long as they don't put their hands on you, you know, if they gonna come up to you and try to call your names, you ignore them. But if they try to pop you upside the head, that's when you throw down. You know, you drop them like it's hot. Sister Layla taught y'all that. They put their hands on you, you drop it like it's hot. You just hit them, you drop them like they hot. You got that little blood, young blood. You tell the school bus driver. But if they try to put their hands on you, you drop them like they hot, young blood. You know, you ain't got to be part of the Crips or the Bloods to throw down. I'm part of the Muslim brothers. I know how to throw down. Don't put your hands on it, you know, but drop them like it's hot, even though it's not. Well, brother, like he said, if they want to try to bully him on the bus, he's going to tell the bus driver, and the bus driver will take care of it. Thank you for sharing. Yes, go ahead, Sister Zara. You have another suggestion on what's a good time to borrow? Go ahead, Zara.
Yes, you can borrow money to get water because you need water.
Yeah, we need water. And Sanaya, what do you think? Sania? What you borrowing money for? Sania? Sanaya, what you borrowing money for?
Nothing.
Oh, you just got it like that. You ain't got to borrow nothing, huh? Your mommy got the money, huh?
Yes, sometimes I have to go to daycare because my school's on holiday and my mom's has to go to work and my dad and the house is just empty by itself.
So you have to.
But usually there would be another person in the house, but he's gone and like the house is just bare empty.
So you have to borrow for daycare?
Well, yes.
Well, ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You know, we have to borrow for daycare. At least you ain't like the Fresno. You ain't like Sister Anissa having to borrow for those depends. Hello. It happens. You know, they have to borrow money for depends. So ain't nothing wrong with you borrowing for daycare. What you laughing at, Rahima?
It didn't look like a daycare. It looked more like a house.
Wait a minute, Rahima, what you laughing at? Because Fresno and Anissa borrow money for some depends? Yes, they do. That's how life is. Okay. All right. I think you guys answered this question pretty good. So I think you guys understand the hadith. Don't go around asking for money unless you really need it. Bottom line. And if you do need it, make sure you pay it back. Najma, you got something to add, Sister Najma? Go ahead. Sister Najma, go ahead.
Only borrow when you need it, because if you trick one when you need to borrow something from them, they'll be mad at you.
Exactly. Najma's got it right, guys. If we go around taking money from people without paying them back, they're not going to want to help you anymore. They're going to look at you like you're a bad person. And then when you really, really need help, no one's going to come help you. You heard the story about the wolf, the boy that cried wolf. Then when the wolf really attacked him and he cried wolf, nobody came to help him because they say he kept crying wolf all the time. So we have to be careful. Yeah, you got something to say over there, Ali's and your little friend? Go ahead.
You need money to buy a car to get food?
Yes, indeed. Money, transportation, all types of transportations. Exactly. You need to buy some money to keep that hair together too, Ali. Huh? You got to have some money to buy that oil for that hair, don't you?
Okay.
And what's your what's your answer too, baby? What's your sister's? Go ahead.
To buy ice cream, you need to buy more money.
Ice cream.
A lot of money.
Ice cream costs a lot of money, so we need to borrow money. Let me tell you something. A lot of kids do that. They borrow money to buy ice cream and candy. It's okay, but you better pay it back. Because remember, borrow means I'm going to pay you back. Borrow means, can I borrow $5? That means I'm going to pay you back this $5. So if you're going to borrow $5 to buy ice cream, you pay it back.
So do I got to pay my mommy back?
You have to pay your what back?
Yeah, my mommy back money.
Yes, even your mommy. If you're going to borrow from your mom, if you say mom, you use the word borrow. That means you have to pay it back. You didn't say give me, you said borrow. If you say borrow, you have to pay it back. Yes, you said.
And you say, can I have this daughter?
Exactly. That's not borrowing. If you say, can I have, that means you asking somebody to give you a handout. That's like begging. We're talking about saying, if you give this to me, I'll pay you back. You already seen the movie Popeye? Little Wimpy, he used to say, if you give me, can I borrow a hamburger today and I'll pay you back tomorrow? You know, if borrow means, can you loan to me? Okay, so I think you guys understand this hadith pretty
I
good.
have one.
Yeah, you got one? Go ahead.
Like, you know, like food, but not like you have a pet and you need food for them.
Yes, that's a good one because, you know, we're held accountable for taking care of our pets. If we take an animal as a pet, Allah is going to ask you, did you take care of it? So we have to take care of our pets. You know, so yeah, if you can't take care of an animal, you got to borrow the money so you can. Yeah, one more answer. Go ahead, Khadijah. We can't hear you, baby.
Shelter.
Huh?
Shelter to live, like.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, we have to have a shelter to live. Yeah, money to pay the rent and stuff. Okay, well, we guys did a good job with this hadith. Let me put it on the screen one more time, and then we're going to go into the movie of Solomon, because I'm going to tell you guys, this movie, you're only going to see one episode, because this
one more.
This one episode is large. Okay, this is a hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever borrows money from the people with the intention of paying it back, Allah will help you to pay it back. But whoever borrows money just to waste it, then Allah will punish you for that. So we have to remember as Muslims that begging is haram, but if we really need help, it's okay to borrow. And Islam teaches us to respect people's property and to be honest and to try to repay people back for the good things that they do for us. And if you don't have the intention to pay it back, then don't go around borrowing it. So let's move on to the next part of this Sunnahfollowers Kids program. We're going to speak about Prophet Solomon. Now, the last time we met, remember we had the question about what happened to Bilqis. And we found out that they did not kill Bilqis, but instead they took her someplace and hid her so that her enemies wouldn't kill her. Okay, and they ended up putting her back in her kingdom because they defeated her enemies. That's where we stopped off last week with her. And then with Solomon, they just told us all the good deeds that Solomon did, how righteous a man he was. And so today, when you watch this movie, it's just going to be one episode and it's going to be 30 minutes. That's why it's just one episode. I want y'all to pay attention to what happens with Bilqis, what happens with the Hoopy bird, and what happens with Oshans and his wife. So for those of you listening on Facebook, I'm going to have to close out because due to copyrights, I can't show the movie on Facebook. Questions. I hope everybody was paying attention. Inshallah, we'll get to see how well you all paid attention with the quiz. We got a lot of questions today. One episode brought a lot of information about Solomon and Bilqis. So let's take a look at the quiz here. And again, this was episode 28. We only got to see one episode today because it was such a long episode with a lot of information. So let's look at the first question here. While Hoshan was away, what was his wife doing that the neighbors discovered her doing? Let me see. Was it, let's see who can answer it right. Was she cooking and planning a party for him to return back home to? Or was she going to the mosque to pray while he was gone? Don't write on the board, guys. Don't write on the board. Or was she holding henna parties with the women while he was gone? Okay, what's the correct answer? Go ahead, Amalia.
Going to the mosque and pray.
Okay, Amalia said that she was going to the mosque to pray. Do you guys agree? Everybody agrees? Mashallah.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job. That's the answer. Yes, while her husband was away, still trying to figure out a way to destroy Solomon, his wife was going to the mosque to pray because she believed in Allah and she believed in Solomon. And let's look at the next question. Question number 2. The Queen of Sheba, she got back on her throne and she wanted to make her kingdom which of the following? Did she want to make it the best on earth? Did she want to make it a heaven on earth? Or did she want to make it a place of escape? Go ahead, Zora. Huh?
She wanted to make it a heaven on earth.
Exactly. The Queen of Sheba, she was worshiping the sun. She didn't believe in Allah, but she was happy to have her kingdom back and she wanted to try to make her kingdom a heaven on earth. There is no such thing as a heaven on earth. We all know that. And that brings us to the next question. How, when the hud bird, the hoopy bird, it didn't come back for the meeting? Solomon used to hold weekly meetings with his animals and jinn and men. But when they had the meeting, they noticed that the hoopoo bird was missing. So when the hoopoo bird returned, and the hoopoo bird told it that it wasn't here because it had found the kingdom of Sheba, who worshiped the sun. And to make sure that the hoopoo bird wasn't lying, how did Solomon have the bird prove that he wasn't lying? Did he give him a letter to take to the queen? Or did he make him bring other birds to witness for him? Or did he make him swear by Allah that he was telling the truth? What's the correct answer, Sania? How did Solomon make the bird prove that the bird was not lying? Did he give him a letter to take to the queen? Or did he make him bring other birds to witness for him? Or did he make him swear by Allah that he wasn't lying? Sania. Go ahead.
Have them write a letter to the queen.
Exactly. Solomon said, okay, I'm going to give you a letter to take to the queen, telling the queen to come here to see me. So if you're lying, I'm going to know about it. But of course, the bird was not lying. And that brings us to the next question. When the bird brought the letter to Queen Bilqis, she met with her men and told them to give her some advice as to what to do. What advice did they give her? Did they tell her to fight? Or did they tell her to run? Or did they tell her to ask the sun for help? Najma, which answer is correct, Najma? Najma?
I was in the bathroom, so I didn't see that part.
Okay. Anybody else want to try? Brother Yusuf. What advice did Bilqis' men tell her? Did they tell her to fight, to run, or to ask the sun for help?
What?
Okay, he said to run. Do you guys agree? Anybody disagrees? Sister Sania, go ahead.
To ask the sun to help.
Okay, is that true? Does everybody agree with her?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't really agree. I think it's to fight.
exactly. The correct answer is to fight. Bilqis' men told her to fight. They wanted to fight against Solomon. They didn't tell her to run away or ask the sun for help. They told her to fight. But what decision did she make? Did she decide to bring in reinforcements and fight? Or did she decide to send gifts to Solomon as a means of impressing him? Or did she offer herself in marriage to Solomon? What is the answer? Let's see, Sister Hafsa. What's the answer, Hafsa? Which one did she do?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Amar, go ahead, Amar.
Bring
him gifts,
Which one?
send the gifts.
Yes, that's the correct answer. So she chose to not fight because she didn't like war. And she chose to instead send him some gifts as a means of impressing him. And how did Solomon respond to the gifts? Who can tell us? Did he take them happily? Or did he take them and give them away? Or did he just refuse to take the gifts at all and sent them back? Go ahead, Yusef.
He was happy.
Okay, you guys agree with his answer?
No.
Sister Asma.
I
Okay, Sister Asma, what answer you think it is?
He refused it
Exactly.
and gave them back.
Exactly. He refused the gifts and sent them back to her. He said, I don't need her gifts. He said, Allah has given me more. And when he sent the gifts back to her, how did the queen respond? Did she realize that he was special and decided to go visit him? Or did she become afraid and run off to the sea? Or did she just faint? Which answer you guys think? Wait a minute, hold on for 1 second. Go ahead, Sister Sabrina. Which answer, Sabrina?
He realized he was better and decided to visit him.
Okay, which answer, Sabrina?
He
What was
realized
your
he was better and decided to visit him.
Yeah, she realized he was special and decided to go visit him. Good job. So when he sent the gifts back, she knew that he was not like a regular king, that there was something special about him. So she decided to go meet him. And when Solomon heard that she was coming to meet him, what he did a lot of stuff to try to impress her. But there's one thing that he didn't do. Which of these things did he not do? Did he not build a throne for Bilqis? Did he not build a palace for Bilqis? Or did he not have the jinn bring him Bilqis' throne? Which one did he not do? Which one of those things did Solomon not do? Yes, go ahead, Sania.
Not bring him, not have the jinn bring him Bilqis' throne.
Okay, anybody has a different answer? Najma, is your answer different? Which one of those things did Solomon not make the jinn do?
Bring him a palace.
Okay, anybody got a different answer? She said to bring him the throne. She said to build a palace. Anybody with different answers? Shuaib?
Build a throne.
Exactly. He had the jinn build a palace for her, and he had the jinn bring him Bilqis' throne. What he didn't do is have them build a throne from her. He didn't have them build a throne. He had the jinn bring her throne. So, mashallah, that's all that we learned about Prophet Solomon today. What did you guys think about that?
With me.
Huh? What did you guys think about that movie today and this part of Solomon's life? What did you think? Sania, you liked it? Everybody liked it? Yeah, it's a nice lesson to learn. Solomon was a very wise man. You know, he was not easily intimidated by others. You know, he believed in Allah and he fulfilled the obligations that Allah imposed upon him and didn't care what other people said or what other people thought of it. And that's how we need to be. Live our lives obeying Allah, doing the things that Allah wants us to do and not caring what other people think. And we also learned today, too, that there is nothing wrong with asking people to help you when you need help, especially if, you know, with the intention of paying them back. If you're in need of money, you're going through a hardship in life, you need some help, ask, can you borrow from the people? And tell them that you will pay them back, you know, at a certain time. And make sure you honor that and pay them back. So I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this class today. We had a very good class, and I apologize for having to go in and out, but I've been up and I'm doing a whole bunch of things at one time. But mashallah, I'm so proud of all of you. You did such a great job with your Quran Tajweed. You're learning these hadiths. You guys are memorizing what's happening with Solomon. I am so proud of you, and may Allah bless all of us and keep us all upon Siratul Mustaqim. Ameen, ameen. Okay, so I'm closing out. For those of you on Facebook, we have the class with Brother Mukhtar. And I want the children to know, too, we have the stories of the companions. You guys can join at 6 o'clock when my cousin Mukhtar will be here. He'll be speaking about the companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then you have my class afterwards at 7. So I'm going to close out here for now. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.